Welcome to Random Select. Please enjoy.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mario bringing you another episode of Random Select, the show that's all about thought provoking talk, the show that you can be a part of, the People's Podcast. And this week, I want to talk to you about going back down memory lane. Can you go home again? And what I mean by that is, can you and an ex get back together and have a productive relationship? And in the second segment, I want to talk about what is your price. We all have moral standards, at least I would like to think that the majority of us does. We all have points that we will not go past. But what is your price that would make you go past your point? What is your price that would make you do some of the most bottom gutter, trashy, just non scrupulous things? What's your price? I mean, and can you be bought? So we're going to get into all of that, coming up right now. Let's just jump into it and figure out, can you go home again? Can you go back down memory lane? Can you and an ex respark that old flame? Bring the fire back. And I tend to think sometimes you have to ask yourself, why did you and a person break up in the first place before you attempt to go back down memory lane? Because sometimes, that old saying is the absence makes the heart grow fonder. And sometimes when a person ain't around, you tend to forget all the things that came with that person. Because sometimes what'll happen is when we break up with a person, we'll go out into the world and we'll start dating different people and meeting new people. And what you realize is that the new people that you meet kind of got a lot of things that you're not willing to put up with, or you just can't put up with. And the first thing that comes to your mind is, yeah, he was bad. Yeah, she was bad. But at least I could deal with that. And maybe you're meeting some people that make the ex seem like they was just wonderful. Make the ex seem like, wow, maybe we made a mistake. Because the way dating works these days, sometimes maybe your ex is the best option the way things are looking out here. Also, you got to also ask, for what reasons are you guys trying to get back together? Because sometimes when you go back with an ex, it's like, in my personal opinion, it's only several reasons that people go back. You get back with a for the reason I just said, because you literally can't find anyone out there for you, or the pickings are slim wherever you're dating at or wherever you're meeting people at. Then you got people get back together with some type of tragedy happens, some type of cataclysmic event goes on in one of the two people lives. For instance, let's just say a loved one passed away, and they invited you to the funeral and you see your ex there. And this is from a woman's standpoint, and you see the guy being very emotional, because they lost a loved one. And you're saying to yourself, wow, I've never seen him so emotional. He never showed feelings and compassion and emotions like that. Maybe he's changed. I'm seeing a side of him that I've never seen when we were together. So now you saying, okay, maybe I'll start calling him. Maybe I'll try to reach out to him. What you don't see is that they lost someone, so they're gonna be emotional. But you're latching on to what you want to see and what you wish he would be, because once their grieving period is over with, they're probably gonna go back to being who they were. Not everybody, because loss changes people. Loss affect people in different ways, so it just depends on how that person works. So that's another reason a person would get back with each other, because of some type of tragic event happened in their life. And the third reason that people get back with each other is the fact that once they see them with somebody else, they go, oh, hell no, and can't stand to see that person with someone, you know. And then the fourth reason people get back with another person is because you have seen that person go from 0 to 60. And I mean, going from, as Biggie like to say, ashy to classy. So now you want them back because you feel they done came up. They doing better for themselves, you know. But once again, when you see them coming up and you want to get back with them, you got to ask yourself, are you in the same spot you were at when you broke up with them? Did you come up? Or now you looking to get back with them because they done came up and you hoping they elevate you and pull you up too? Keep in mind, they may not want you back because you're not on their level now. You know, back then you probably was all high and mighty and you felt you were better than them, but somewhere along the way when you weren't paying attention, they surpassed you, caught up with you and surpassed you. So, you know, so let's recap real quick to say some of the reasons that a person might get back with each other. The first reason is there's just nothing out there better and you just figure I might as well stay with my ex. The second reason is there's a cataclysmic, tragic event that happens in a person's life and brings two people back together. And the third reason is that a person, you know, comes up. A person, now you feel they're doing better than you, so you feel you want to get back with them. And then the fourth reason is you can't stand to see them with anybody else. You know, I call it the I call it the hell no theory, you know. Oh, she with such and such? Hell no. So, and I'm pretty sure there's other reasons that people get back with each other, but let's just explore those four particular reasons, right? And when you hear those, I want you to kind of sit back and think if you've ever got back with an ex or you've ever gone down this road right here. I want you to think about which category you fall in. Are you the person that falls in, I might as well get back with him because there's nothing out there? Or are you the person that got back with a person because something tragic happened in their life or your life? Or are you the type of person that saw them with somebody and went, oh, hell no? Or are you the type of person that tried to leech back on when you saw a person come up? Now, when you're assessing yourself, if this situation has ever applied to you, this is one of them times when nobody else is around. Ain't nobody there but you. Be totally honest with yourself. Which category would you fall in? You know, if the situation applied to you, and if the situation have happened to you, which category did you fall in? So, I think that you and an ex can get back together. You know, especially if the foundation that you guys had from the get-go, from the very beginning, was one of friendship. I think that when a friendship is formed from any type of relationship, I think there's room for stuff to be repaired. I think there's room for improvement. And yes, I think there's room for you guys to get back together. But if it starts off from anything other than friendship, sometimes it tends to stay wherever you guys broke up and broke it off at. Because friendship can mend. You know, getting with someone just because they were fine, eventually that'll grow. Getting with someone just because they were cute, eventually that'll grow. Because they had a good job, because of where they stayed, because they had a good house. All of that stuff comes out into the open as time go on. But I think the basis of any good relationship needs to be friendship. I think that will endure. Now, if I had to pick, and I know people saying, hey, you know, you asking us to choose which category would we be in? Which category would you be in? And honestly, and if I'm to totally be honest with myself, I think I would fall in that oh hell no category. Seeing her with another guy, oh hell no. You know, I think that's the category I would be in. I don't know if I could, you know, stand by idly and watch her be with somebody, you know, that I feel that I might be better than, or that I feel that I might sex better than, or couldn't stand the thought to feel like she might be with somebody that might be sexing her better than me. Because when it comes to our ego, us males, boy, that thing is a real funny and fickle thing. One minute you can suppress it and it don't bother you, and the next minute it controls every aspect of your life and controls everything that you do. So it's funny when it comes into play and when it doesn't. And a lot of times it always comes into play in moments when it really should be put to the back burner, but that's when it seems to rear its ugly head. But in the times when we really need it, that's when we totally ignore it, because there's nothing truly to be gained from it when it's in a situation where the right thing is being done. We always let it rear its ugly head in a situation where the wrong thing is being done. But in our mind, it's justified. It's right to us, and that's all that matters. And you don't give a damn who contradicts it, who refutes it. It's right to us. All right, so the question is, can you go home again? Can you go back down memory lane? Can you get back with an ex? And I say you can. I say if you and her had a good type of relationship, had the type of relationship where for one or another reason you guys just grew apart. Not that you hated each other, not that it was some infidelity going on or something that's can't be repaired. And a lot of time in today's world, financial reasons tear a relationship right to the core, to the root. Not because people fell out of love with each other, not because they started hating each other. It's just that one or both people were bad with money and stuff around them started to crumble. They started to, lose houses, started not getting the bills paid, mortgage wasn't being paid. And so because that person was bad with money, you started looking at them in a different light. Not that they did anything wrong with you, but in today's world, we associate money with the character of a person these days. We associate money with how a person see life. I mean, if a person don't come with some type of financial aptitude, we automatically deem them as being worthless. Now, I'm not saying that as a man or a woman, you take a person that's totally frivolous and careless with their money and still love them no matter what, even though all they doing is take it and spending all the money and leaving you to pick up the pieces. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that money and a person's financial prowess has become the number one priority, it seems like, for most people, whether it be man or woman. No matter how you dating or who you dating, seems like that's the number one priority and what people caring about. And which I'm not mad at you. If that's your personal preference, then you roll with that. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you either sink or you swim with that boat. So when it going good, you enjoy it. But when it's going bad, you gotta own that too. So I'm just saying that a relationship can flourish, can go back again if those two people felt real strong for each other. Maybe they broke up because one got a scholarship to college and on the West Coast, and the other one didn't. He can't go and got to stay on the East Coast. And we know long distance relationships don't work. They can, but it takes two people with incredible resolve to make it happen. Two people with incredible just feelings for each other to make it happen. Two people who are just totally focused on the end game, totally focused on the goal. And a lot of days, people can't be focused past going from their bedroom to the living room to get a drink of water without stopping to look at the TV and then totally forget that they was going to get some water. So focus is definitely becoming a thing of the past. Everybody got a short attention span. It ain't just kids. It ain't just people who's been diagnosed with ADD. It's everybody. But on the same token, when you get back together for the wrong reasons, like I said, out of the first one, out of a tragic event, you get back for that reason, it's not going to work. Because at some point, like I say, the healing process, the grieving process will be over with, and the person will settle back into being who they are. And then once they settle back into being who they are, you will start going back into realizing why you had to leave or make that move in the first place, right? So now it takes you back to the, oh hell no theory. And that never ever is going to work, because it's like you telling somebody, I don't want this woman, I don't want this man, but they standing here in the middle of the room. Nobody, I don't want them. So if somebody else comes up and say, I'll take them, you go, yeah, I don't want them. But you can't have a meter. I'd rather just, instead of them being happy and instead of them going on to have a decent, good life, I'd rather for them to just stand in the middle of this room and just do absolutely nothing until I come back here and profess to everybody that I don't want them, and tell everybody else that you can't have a meter, And that's pretty much the theory for the hell no theory is, she ain't with me, and I don't know if I necessarily want her, but under no circumstances neither can you have her either, So that's never going to work, for the simple reason that once the person that you try to fight for to get them back realize that, wait a minute, you didn't really want me. You just wanted to keep me from having that other person in my life. And then she's going to resent you, because you know what she's going to say? And I'm looking at it from the man's standpoint. She's going to resent you because she's going to say you kept her from potentially having something that could have been good. Because by the time she realized what's going on, the person that she was originally dating probably done moved on, or probably don't want her anymore, because they felt she kicked them to the curb prematurely without any rhyme or reason for it. So now it's going to be a natural built up resentment for you, because she's going to feel you kept her from potentially having something. So now you guys are going to break up again. And now you're going to be even farther away from being in her inner circle and in her life. Because the first time she's going to say, okay, it happened. That's what happened when two people break up, get together. It's not guaranteed that it's going to last. So, okay, I ain't got no problem with that. But the second time, she's going to be kicking herself and blaming herself, because she was going to be saying, I must have been a fool to let this man back into my life, and he did it to me again. So be leery of the ones when it comes to the hell no, because y'all could go from being broken up but still being friends and talk to, once the second time happened and you break up again, she's totally out of your life. You don't talk, you don't see her, you don't do anything, because she's ashamed of the fact that she let you back in when she knew deep down inside there's no way, shape, form, or fashion you should have been back in her life. So be careful of that one. And the next one is the coming up. Be leery of anybody that wants to get back to you once they find out that you've made a little progress in your life. You've got a better job. You've graduated from school. You got that promotion. Things just seems to be going up with you, because that's the person who don't really care about you at all. Don't really care about you, period. They just care about the things that you have and your status. Be very, very leery of that person, because that's the type of person to come back in your life, portray that they love you and care about you, drain you absolutely, completely dry, then leave you again. And then you'll be back at square one, and then they'll, move on to the next chump, sucker. Those are leeches. Those are the people who don't really care about you under any circumstances. They just care about the things. And sometimes because you feel real strong about them, you tend to overlook it. You tend to say, okay, I know if we keep going down this road, maybe they'll care about me for real. Because no matter how you feel in the back of your mind, you get this feeling when people are using you for your things, using you for your stuff, using you for your status, But at the moment, it feels good to have somebody that's pretending that they're all into you and not into anyone else. And it just feels good. And that's the bottom line. It just feels good to have someone that's into us. But at the end of the day, you got to remember that you're going to want real love. Or either your things may run out, your money may run out, you may run through a rough patch or a hard time. And then what's the person having that person in your life if they're not going to be there for you? They're not going to, have the wherewithal to say, I got your back. Baby, it's me and you through this no matter what. So be leery of that one. Now, up under that circumstances, no, I don't think you could get back with your ex if you know that. So these are some of the reasons you have to really be careful about, really pay attention to when it come back to getting with your ex. You got to see what category it falls up under. If it's true friendship, then hey, no problem. Hey, do what you got to do, because sometimes when you're young, you tend to make mistakes and you don't realize it's a mistake until you experience something else to know that, wow, we might have screwed this up. We might have made a mistake. So just be very careful about trying to go back down memory lane, because sometimes it feels good for the moment, but you got to think inside of the moment that it's just that, a moment, So I think you can go back home again, people. You guys let me know in the comment how you feel about this, and let me know. Give me some examples of some stories. If you had a chance to go back home, if you had a chance to go back down memory lane, get back with that ex, and it turned out great, let me know. If it turned out horrible, let me know, and I could do a follow-up show and maybe have some of you guys on the podcast, and you let me know how it turned out. So until then, we're gonna take a quick little break, and then we're gonna come back with the next segment, which is called "What Is Your Price?" We all have a certain point we will not go past. We all have moral standards. At least I would hope that most of us does. But what is your price? What would it take for you to go past a certain point to do something ungodly?
You're listening to Random Select. We will return shortly. Thank you.
Welcome back in to Random Select, guys, and I hope you enjoyed that last segment. Can you get back with your ex? Can you go back down memory lane? Now I want to talk to you guys about what is your price. We all know that to a certain degree, certain people, not everybody, has a moral standard, a moral compass, and you got points in your life when it comes to certain things you just will not go past. We all know that everybody has a price, no matter what type of moral high ground you stand on, no matter what type of doctrine you preach, no matter what background you come from, with your color, your race, your creed. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a point in which they're willing to cross for financial gain. So that's my question to you guys. What is your price? What wouldn't you do? What bridge you wouldn't cross? You know what I mean? Where is your point where you say, okay, this is a certain point I won't cross, but for the right price, I would do it. I mean, let's just keep it, something simple. Let's say you, as a woman, right? You got a sister, let's say you got two sisters. How much would it take for you to sleep with all their husbands? Something simple like that. Say you got a brother, you're a brother, you got three brothers. How much money would it take for you to sleep with all your brother's wives? And don't get it twisted. I know there are people with no moral compass out there that will sleep with all their husbands, all their sisters' husbands for free, and all their brothers' wives for free. I know that. But I'm talking about a person who kind of has a normal, regular moral compass. For a person who's never stole anything in their life, just the thought of thinking about stealing something makes you feel funny. What price would you have to steal? What price would it take for you to kill someone, for you to murder, for you to rape? I don't know. How far would you go just to get financial gain? I mean, I know that's a crazy topic, and I know it's crazy to ask, but think about it. I mean, really sit down and think about it. What is your price? Because we'll say we don't have one, but we all do. I mean, everybody sort of kind of has a price, because that's why you can have a lot of these crazy shows come on, Snapped, First 48, because a lot of these people do stuff with the intentions or the intent to gain something from it. And when I say price, it don't necessarily have to be financial gain. It could be for that promotion. It could be for that lover. It could be for that car, for that house. I mean, it could be for a parking spot. You know, what would you do? What's your price? How far would you go? And the reason it got me to asking this question is because I asked a friend of mine. I said, she, and I don't want to get too deep into this, and I don't want to, put out there and say no names or anything like that. But I asked a friend of mine, at what price are you willing to pay that you keep on taking this guy back? He's gotten all on social media, knocked you, called you all out your name, said every ill-begotten thing about you, but you keep on saying you want to keep your family together. He's left you, went to another woman's house, was in a relationship with her, got her pregnant. Now he came back, then he left again, went back to that lady, now he's back to you. And I'm asking her, at what price did you lay down in your bed and you determine that you're willing to pay just to have this man? At some point, and you laying down in the comforts of your bed, at some point when you sitting around cleaning up or doing something, you have had to think to yourself that this is a point that I'm willing to go past, or this is a point that I'm not willing to go past. Because it's past the point of her being with this man to say that, your self-respect out the window, him respecting you out the window. Y'all got a daughter together, but he was willing to leave that daughter to go raise another daughter. And then those two daughters can't even be around each other because you don't want your daughter going over there. She don't want her daughter coming over there. So any type of functionality of family unit that could be potentially between siblings out the window. You got another daughter who kind of don't respect him and don't like him, so that's messed up. Respect from her out the window. So you got to ask yourself at this particular point, what is this man bringing to your life other than being around for his daughter? Because obviously he don't mean you no good. So that's what make me wonder. Everybody has a price. Everybody has something that they're willing to pay, willing to do, or willing to endure, or willing to sacrifice to get to where they're going, to get to their end goal, end game. So I put it out there to you guys, what's your price? I mean, is there a sacrifice you've had to make? Is there something that you're willing to say, hey, look, I'm willing to put this in. I'm willing to do this to get to this point? Because sometimes you got to understand that just because you see it as your end goal, what damage are you doing to your psyche, yourself, or the people who looking at you from afar, or your family members? What price are you truly willing to pay to have a car, to have a girlfriend, to have someone in your life, to get that promotion? How far are we willing to go? Does self-respect even matter anymore? Is it to the point where nobody cares about self-respect, so therefore you don't have to worry about that? Because I'm not even concerned about how you maybe look inside your friend's eyes or things like that, or your family eye, but how do you see yourself? When you're looking in the mirror, how are you looking at yourself? Or is it to the point where you just walk past the mirrors and you try your best not to look at them anymore because you don't like what you see, and or you don't recognize the person that you see in that mirror because you sold your soul. So whoever you thought you were, you sold it out, and all in the name of trying to get a person, a material thing. So that's why I asked the question, what price? Y'all leave me messages in the comment and let me know, what price are you guys willing to pay for anything? Or do you still have a moral compass that works? Do you have a point that you will not go past? And now we live in a financial world where everything is about that almighty dollar. Everything is about getting paid. So where you stand at with that? Are you willing to sacrifice some in your life for a payday, for a job, for a woman? But at the end of the day, you can't look yourself in the mirror. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. And I want to thank you guys for indulging me and asking, these crazy questions today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Random Select. If you're looking to be a part of the show or you're looking to leave a comment, go to the website, therandomselect.com. You can find us on Twitter at Random Select, and that's Select with 2 T's. And check us out on YouTube as well, guys. We're on Facebook, Random Select. So if you want to be a part of the show, leave me some comments. Let me know what you feel about what your price is. Let me know what you feel about, can you go home again? Can you get back with an ex? Until the next time, Random Select is out.
You have been listening to Random Select. Thank you. Goodbye.